Right, here we are again. It's Saturday afternoon, and I thought I'd have a crack at this drawing for you. This is a barn I keep passing on the way on my drives up to Wensleydale, to the old school gallery in Muker, and this barn has actually got more and more dilapidated, so I thought I'd better stop, take a photograph before it actually collapsed. I just love the lines, the possibilities with shadows and a dry stone wall. So what I'm going to do is to try and keep these videos at less than 10-12 minutes. You can watch them in short chunks, and the last one gave me some problems at over 20 odd minutes long in uploading and letting YouTube approve it and verify it, blah blah blah. So I'm going to keep this. The drawing might take 2 10-minute chunks, and then I'll add some colour or not. So let's get cracking. Without any further ado, move that. I'm working in my, as ever, the Sea White watercolour sketchbook, and I'm using this marker, this Copic multiliner, the SP. These are fantastically fine pens and nibs. I don't know if you can see just how fine that is. It's a 0.1 aluminium barrel, but they are refillable and the nibs are replaceable. Look, there's a refill cartridge, and where have I got my nibs? Oh, there you go, and spare nibs. So I just like using them. So here we go. Let's have a crack. As with all of these things, a really useful exercise is, for me, I love to try and draw. I'm going to try and draw this. You can't see because I'm actually behind the camera or the phone, but I'm actually attempting to draw this whole wall using the technique of blind contour drawing, which is to, oh, I cheated there, I looked down, which is to kind of do the drawing without looking at your paper or the sheet that you're drawing on, or in my case this sketchbook. It might not work. There you go, I've lifted my pen, but the blind contour bit, which is not to look at the paper as you're drawing, but keep looking at your subject and trust that your brain and your eye and your hand will all be coordinated and produce what I like to think of as it's a lovely loose. It's certainly one way of getting yourself away from that rigid technical drawing. Right, let's have a look at that now. Just keep my eye on the timer because I don't want to overrun, so I'm hoping that after 10 or 12 minutes I may have got to a suitable break in the drawing, and then I can stop and carry on. So there you go. Hope you're all keeping well, and anyway, thanks for all the many comments I've had both on Facebook and by email and on my Facebook page. It's all very gratifying that that you're all finding time to watch the little videos in the first place, and then actually take time to comment on them. It all helps. And it helps me because rather than just rely on what I think people like to see, it's very good. Although one chap suggested he's having a problem painting water. Could I do a tutorial on painting water? I haven't replied to him yet, but I thought, yeah, join the club. I do actually have a problem painting water, which is why I try and avoid it, or if I do water, if I can't avoid having water in, it's usually a very graphic depiction of water, almost like a screen printed effect. You see, I've gone a bit over, but what I can do, I can go over onto this double page spread. I'm using a very quick kind of sketchy style, but they're certainly not anywhere near the regularity of a technical drawing. I'm trying to stay loose. What I really liked about this image, when I come to put the colour on, I'll bring the photograph back in, look, is this little triangle of light that you can see this field through. I just think that's fantastic. So let's hope I don't ruin it. And one other technique I'm going to try in this is to try and use a lot of the pen work to suggest tone and texture. Because with these really fine nibbed pens, it's really difficult to suggest texture like as you could with a pencil, with applying shading, etc. And blending. You really, let's put this thing in there. With these pens, with the fixed width, the only way you can do it is to excuse me, is to use cross hatching to suggest texture and tonal changes. At the moment, this really is just a line sketch. Everything, all the line work at the moment is in the same weight of pen. When I say weight, I mean it's the actual, the lines are all the same thickness, and I've not pressed any harder. I've not tried to do anything different in terms of getting some dynamics in. This is a kind of an overhanging tree that comes down there, and that's that. I may as well put this rock in here that's part of the landscape. Now there we go. That's how long that's been. I think that's been about 5 minutes to get that in. Couple more minutes. I'm going to put that pen down for a second, and I'm going to get a a slightly heavier one. I'm going to use this 0.5. Eagle-eyed viewers may have spotted that last time in the last video I referred to a 0.1, when in fact the pen I was using was a 0.2. But then it was just too, I was too far on to stop and reshoot. I felt like shouting cut. But all of these, you see what I'm doing now, all of these cinematic problems I'll kind of iron out. I'll learn to plan before I do any more. There we go. We're coming up to the 10-minute mark now, and I think now I've got these heavier profile lines in. I hope you can see how this, let's just put a few more in there to kind of bring some more definition down there, and down there. Right, there you go. I think that'll do for this. Let's just put a bit more under there for this stage of the drawing. So we'll stop it there, and I'll see you in part 2.